Hello guys, welcome back. I asked Loki, I said, you're the inventor in the family. Can't you invent a program that'll tell this fucking thing to switch to whatever the active mic is? He's thinking about it. I have Bandicam. It's kind of a piece of shit. It was what I could afford, and it fucking breaks down now. It's an unstable program now. They're updating it. They keep making it worse. It's like, ugh, whatever. But it used to be I had Windows Movie Maker, which I don't make anymore. That was fucking great because that thing knew what your active mic was and it switched automatically. Bandicam has a fucking panic attack and asks you if you need to go to the help site because you just broke it because it didn't switch to the active mic. So I hate it. So, in other news, Loki's pretty happy. He got a lot of time last night, and he got time today, and he did not want to sit in his territory, and that's his right. For people new to working with gods, I know they don't understand this. When you truly bond to a god, when they're truly your patron, and it's not just a pretty word you gave them or it's a word they picked up, they're really bonded to you. They need you. I know a lot of people say real bitterly the gods don't need us. They need you after a while. They're bonded to you. They've made a life bond with you. They're not going anywhere. They need you to make them feel safe. They need you to make them feel secure. And they need to know that they still have that patron god status. Why do you think the God in the Bible gets all pissy when they're looking at other gods? And I was thinking about it last night, and I was thinking about, remember, I was brought up Catholic, and I did read my Bible, actually. Um, there's this part in the Bible where God's whining, I mean, he's stating that, he has this great big beautiful temple, right? Well, all the women of Israel are running around with these little idols of these gods, and like I think they're like carrying them, like you know how sometimes a woman you carry something, you're carrying it like yes, like it's your little baby. Oh, did that fucking make him go crazy? Because he was their god. Why were they carrying these tiny little gods around? Because they wanted those gods. That's why. And they wouldn't listen. They were like, these are our gods. We have our kitchen gods and everything. Oh, did he lose his shit? And I said, I'm starting to have sympathy for God. He had this big ass temple, you know, and you would think he's the all powerful God because that's what he claimed, but the women weren't listening. The women are like, I have this God. He's so cute. Look at him. He's a little statue. I love him. And it must have drove him nuts. I said, now I finally am starting to understand that because I've seen Loki lose it and I've seen Odin lose it because they do get territorial. They will let those into their territory they think mean you will and aren't going to steal you. Those are two requirements, and I can tell you that right now. No god with any brains is going to let any god known for stealing humans into his territory. And it had not felt, and I don't mean to insult anybody that works with Set, it did not feel like he had my best interest in heart. I mean, even remotely. He told me I treat my servants better. And whenever he's addressed me before, he's addressed me as a servant. I don't know if he does that with everyone or he just doesn't particularly like me. But there has to be something between him and Loki. I don't know what it is, but Loki was not letting him near his human. Now Loki knows he owes me a can of chicken and a box of noodles and some dried vegetables and some onion powder. And yeah, I put a couple of our precious um, bouillon cubes in there. I froze the chicken broth from the canned chicken. He owes me a couple of those too. I'm getting on it. I'm getting on it. So hopefully you'll get some yummy chicken at some point in my life. He will replace things, but he's not going to replace them the instant he broke them. Not usually. Sometimes yes, usually no. We did get some groceries in today, so that helped. And he's territorial, and when a god's your main deity, sometimes you have to do things your way. Like I like keeping up on the news, but today's kind of Loki's day, even though it's not Saturday. And he's, since he's my patron deity, he can take any day he wants. And we're doing what he wants. We're watching epic rap battles. There's a couple on his playlist now. It would all be epic rap battles if Loki had his way. So if you end up seeing like 20 of those in a row, you know why he loves those. Because remember what he's good at. He's good at talking shit to people, which is, what Loki's fighting is about. He's good at coming in and talking shit to people and insulting them. And everybody's like, Loki, you're drunk, shut up. And he's like, I'm still better at this than you bitches. Ah! Yay! back here. He's fucking terrible, and you know he is. He will find the meanest shit to say to you and absolutely devastate you, and all the other cops will be like, there. He's done it to us too. He's a mean bitch. I hate him. And he'll just be looking at you real smug, like, I got you, didn't I? He's terrible. He's a fucking horrible god some days, but we love him anyhow. I go, mm-hmm. And I've been talking to one of you about, as a hearth god, he absolutely rules this kitchen, which is why if I think he's even remotely angry, I'm cringing and not touching the stove and trying not to open the fridge because I'm like, oh god, what else is he gonna do? But, you have to let your god have his sacred space, and for Loki, whether he had it in ancient times or not, people will argue. People really go back into the lore and go, well, look at this battle. This proves he's socialized fire. He's like the fire pit and the hearth fire, and that's good. That's good. We should go back to our lore. But he's just showing a damn talent for being in the kitchen, and every Lokean will tell you, yeah, if he's pissed at you, that shit ain't gonna work. It's kind of like when I used to work with Ogu. If Ogu is fucking pissed at you, and Ogu's fire as well, iron, and a couple other things. If you try to cook on a grill, and Ogu is pissed at you, not only will the fucking fire not start, that shit defies science and will not cook your food. And then you gotta start talking to him, go, Ogu, my frozen food is directly above flames and nothing's happening. And it's not like you're impatient. It's like it's defying the laws of physics. And then he's like, hmm. And then it cooks. But Loki's the same way. And I'm getting, can we get the grill out? Oh, baby, we don't got any burgers. What are we gonna do? Cook cereal on the grill? Yeah. We haven't been able to get out for a couple months, and then this hit, and I haven't gone out because they're like, "Hey, fat people, you're first." I'm like, "Yeah, well, fuck you. I'm staying inside." And yesterday we had something happen, and it was not Loki. It was just my neighbor's greedy son of a bitch. You know, the one that cut down the live tree because he wanted money, and he told me to never ask him for anything again, and he ran off my porch like something scared him. Well, he comes by yesterday and he's fucking banging on my door. This old man, he's fucking banging on my glass door. And then he's fucking banging on my windows like he's trying to break in. At first I thought I had to get my gun or call the cops. And you like freeze. You don't act like an action hero, unfortunately, because you're trying to process what the fuck is happening. And then as he was yelling and I started to make out the words and come out of panic mode, I realized who it was. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Like, is my house on fire? What the fuck? He wanted to borrow a ladder. Okay, the little shit that's stolen stuff from this yard and everything else. And Mammon was with me because Loki wasn't talking to me. And Mammon puts a hand on my shoulder and says, if it'll keep him from breaking in this fucking house, give him the ladder. You don't need infected if he's a carrier. So we let him take the ladder, and he did bring it back, and he's like, good, don't touch that fucking ladder for at least a month. They don't know anything. So it was just kind of scary, because he could be a fucking carrier. Nobody in this area has gotten tested. I don't care if he's fucking ambulatory. That's what a passive carrier is in this. I could be a passive carrier too. But he would have walked right into my fucking house had both my doors not been locked. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with people now? Don't they know we're in the middle of a plague? Just because the numbers have slowed down in Pennsylvania, it's because nobody in the state can fucking count past 2. That's why it's past 2. We don't know. It's infinite. Get a scientist in here. So I go, ooh, back here. It's kind of sad in the state how incompetent they are. We will never know, and so conspiracy theorists in the state are using it as proof that nobody died at all. It's just imagination land. I'm like, no, I think we're in the middle of a fucking plague. I don't think it's a worldwide conspiracy by all the news outlets to cover something that doesn't exist. So anyhow, Loki is okay. He's a lot better, but you do have to remember when you have a patron deity, no matter who it is, you do at times have to reestablish that bond, and you have to spend time with them. And yes, it feels like they're jumping in the way and they're interfering because you have all these other gods, but they remember when that was all theirs. Loki is getting to see other gods get attention that was his, and he remembers when Loki was new. And and it sounds cute, but He remembers when Loki was new. He remembers when Loki got all the attention and all the love and everything he did was so clever. And I wasn't used to him. And he was actually hurt. I was used to him. And I know what he means. He still wants to be new, sparkly Loki. And does new sparkly Loki want to go on a shopping adventure again? But he wants to be new sparkly Loki, and we have food and we have everything in the house, or we have it ordered. But it's still a thing. It's been hard on us because it's been fucking beautiful weather, and I would love to get out, but nobody else will be wearing a mask. I would be wearing mine, but your mask protects other people from you. Remember that. It doesn't protect you from other people. So if some damn moron doesn't wear his and goes all right in your face because he's ignorant, may the odds be ever in your favor. So it's just I'm waiting for the all clear. And I'm going nuts because, with my disabilities, I have a window of weather, which is right now, where it's kind of cold, but it's not really, and it's kind of warm, but it's not really, and that's when I'm comfortable going out. Once it hits summer, I'm going to have to go first thing in the morning or like in the evening or something, and by then it'll be swarming with people. So we're actually discussing it. If Mammon could have his way with my disabilities and, my weight and everything else, he would keep me home for like the rest of the year. And he keeps trying to get me to agree to that, and I agree to it, and I go, but there are going to be times I'm going to have to leave his house. I'm not going to have another choice. And he's like, no, he'll find a way. So we will see. But, do try to remember that when you have a patron god, you do have to take that time out, as many other gods as they let you have. You do have to take that time out to reestablish with them, and it's not fun because you're frustrated and you're trying to bond with these other gods, and they damn well know it, but they're your patron deity. They want that bond with you too, and they need you. So I know it's frustrating. I know it is because you're trying to get everybody else bonded, and they want their bonding time now too, and your patron deity is jumping in the way, and you do love them, and they're your best loved god, and they know it, but sometimes, they're gonna do that. They're going to wreck everything else, which is why I usually end up with just Loki, because they want that bonding time. Loki is a very high maintenance god. He can be very simple to please some days, but he can also be very high maintenance. So I will warn you, if you don't want a high maintenance deity, I would not pick Loki or Odin. I won't pick any of the Norse gods. They are very high maintenance deities. Again, everything in this house is done for you, dear heart. So, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.